So I just want to follow on from my Tylenol and autism video, because there's a lot more. It's hard to fit in everything that I believe in a couple of minutes, okay? This is something that's been divulged into for many, many years, that autism really till this day is still so misunderstood and still not completely understood. Now, as I've stated, it has been proven that 90% of autism is genetic. It's a genetical factor. But the question remains, we still have 10% that we can't really account for. But as I've said in other videos, and I stand on this, things like traumatic labours can almost enhance the gene, for it to almost enhance the gene that we carry for the autism. Stress in pregnancy, certain medications. I'm not saying that all medications that we're giving, all vaccinations that we're being given are good for you. I ain't saying that by a stretch, because I'm very, what you would consider like a conspiracy theorist. I think it's hard for us as a society to believe everything that we're being told. I think for us to be kept sick, to eat foods that are bad for us, creates more of a profitability for pharmaceutical companies and all this kind of stuff. And that's just a whole conversation. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is to completely say that autism is caused solely by vaccines and solely by paracetamol is just scientifically untrue. It can't be true, because autism was here before that. Now, am I saying that we can't, like, through traumatic labours, like, for example, my labour with Keegan was very traumatic. He was in my birth canal for a lot longer than he needed to be, and then he got literally taken out my arms and was given all these antibiotics. Now, I'm not saying that people can't question what we're being told in regards to meds, the COVID vaccines and all of this. That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it has been absolutely 100% proven that autism existed before they did. That's a fact. That is a fact. It's also been proven that 90% of autism is a genetical factor. That's also a fact. A fact and opinion are two very different things. An opinion can't be a fact, and a fact can't be an opinion. Like, it don't work. What I'm saying is, though, to solely blame one thing is diabolical. You can't do that. What we should be doing as a society is understanding the diagnosis itself. If more effort was put into helping autistic individuals than it was to curing it, we would be in a lot better shape. And the reason I truly believe, and hand on my heart, as to why autism is so prevalent is because of parents like me, researchers and doctors that have given their life to understanding this diagnosis. Because now, as parents, when we spot the signs and the symptoms that autism can cause, instead of just thinking that our children are naughty and living in the mindset of 1900s and them being sent off to a psych ward and being lobotomised on and tied to radiators, we're now saying, no, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to go to a doctor and we're going to get intervention and a diagnosis. Research and understanding means that more parents like me and like you can now take our children to the doctors. That's it. There is also another factor that plays a part, which is the factor of autism being a trend, okay? And it's one that pisses me off. You can have a speech delay and not be autistic. It's like you can have sickness on a morning and not be pregnant. You can have symptoms of something, but doesn't mean you actually have a diagnosis of autism. It's also now, it's almost like a joke. Everyone's got autism. Everyone's on the spectrum. That's actually fundamentally not true. To the rate of people in the whole of the world, to the rate of people that are actually diagnosed with autism, actually the percentage is quite small. It's just the prevalence and us talking about it is more high now, because parents like me are not going to fucking shut up. We're not going to accept anything less than the best for our children. We're not going to have them deemed as people that shouldn't be in our society and are not worthy to be here. That they are going to get the right education. You are going to fund these IEPs. You are going to do this stuff. So I think it is a lot easier to blame everything else, to make everything else the issue, than the issue that we actually have. And the issue that we have is that autistic people are left on the sidelines. When they're not funded, parents don't have access to the correct courses, the correct knowledge. No, it's just easier to say, well, you fucking vaccinated your kid, it's your fault, deal with it. It's easier to let other parents and carers live in guilt than it is to actually help them. It's easier for them to stay at home instead of providing a fucking school. It's easier to just have teachers not trained on SEN than it is to train them, because it costs too much money, and that's what people don't understand. This is about money. This is about not wanting to help the community. It's easier to do this. Just point the fingers. Why not just stick to research facts? Just stick to the fucking facts. The why, at this point, kind of don't matter, because autism is here. It's always been here. So why not do how? How can we help? How can we better the community? How can we have the tools to develop and thrive? How can we make sure that schools are inclusive and it's not a one box fits all kind of situation? How can we do that as a society? How can we ensure that these children are not, put into mental health wards? Because autism isn't a mental health diagnosis. It's a neurological diagnosis. They're not the fucking same. Okay? That's my point. No one's saying that all medications are great. I don't believe that. I don't like taking medications. But to just say that is the sole reason genetics don't play a factor, that it's only been around since the 40s and all of this, that it wasn't around in my day, is fundamentally a lie. It's a lie. That's it. Have a good one.